Hello, this is a collect call from an inmate from the Bannock County Jail.
Hello?
How you doing?
All right, sweetheart, how are you?
Not too good.
I know, baby.
I have to come home.
Baby, I know that, and I'm sorry, you're going to have to stay strong. Are you saying your prayers?
Yeah, but Mom, I want you to come home.
Baby, I promise you that we're working on that, okay? I promise
will you
you.
Come home?
Huh?
Will you promise me I'll come home?
Sweetheart.
Can you try?
Honey, we're trying everything we can. I promise you. We're trying everything we can. There's nothing more in the world than I want my boy home with me. Okay? We're doing everything we can here. You know how much I love you, baby.
The prosecutors are trying to get me life with no parole.
Huh?
Should minors who commit murder be sentenced to life without parole? This is a crucial question the Supreme Court is going to be deciding tomorrow. The 38 states currently allow life without parole for minors who commit murder. But is it constitutional?
So the court comes to a fork in the road. Make a complete ban on life without parole for adolescents or set an age limit. Many lives hang in the balance.
Their brains are not fully developed. They will change. They will grow. Is this something that we can judge them for the rest of their lives?
After Barr was questioned by police, he was charged with the 12-year-old's murder.
Anyone who knows to muffle the gun so nobody else hears it has the mind of an 18-year-old.
I think everyone is more than the worst thing they've ever done. And I think that policymakers can make decisions about how to punish them. But I think children are uniquely more than their worst act. They have quintessential qualities and characteristics that a decent society, a maturing society, an evolved society, we believe is constitutionally obligated to recognize and protect.
High school is a very hard time. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea where I fit in among my peers. And I thought that I was a nobody at my high school. And I wanted to be known. And so I tried all these different identities, and I couldn't, find an identity that I could not be pushed out of, I guess. So I got into Columbine.
We saw these two kids. They were white, and they
are reported to have gone off. Upwards of a dozen people were injured. They're running out of the
Columbine kind of created a sub-culture for disenfranchised, kids who don't fit in anywhere. I saw at the time they transcended their high school. For the hour that they did what they did, they were in the spotlight, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be in the spotlight.
Actually, I was really actually going to do it. Oh, yeah? I was like, what's the first thing?
Hey, look, it's Cassie.
Hey, look, I don't know.
Hello, Cassie. I'm getting you on tape, okay? Say hi, please. Okay, see ya.
When I first met Cassie's daughter, I think the first memory I have of her is we were joking around in class, and she was smiling, and that's the image I have in my mind now. Is I can't get that out of my mind. And man, that's hard to talk about. But in the beginning, she was just a nice person, and she, sorry. I was attracted to her, and I thought she was a special person. But she started going out with this other kid I knew in high school, and it kind of struck me hard, and I was like, okay, so, I am a loser.
Wait, have you seen Tori? He's supposed to meet me here at 7:30, and it's 8:19. He's an hour late. You don't even care, do you? Okay.
I met Tori Adamczyk in sophomore year. He started talking about the movie Scream, how it'd be cool to actually do a Scream type crime. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, have you ever, thought about that? Not really. I mean, I've thought about other things like, Columbine. And he really wasn't into that. And I was like, well, I could either be alone or I could join his plan and be with him and not be alone.
Tori got here, it was about 8 months where we would come up every 3 weeks and we'd leave right after work on Friday, drive up all night, come stay in the hotel. We wouldn't miss a visit for anything. Tori's a good kid and we enjoy the visits. We have a good time, and Tori's the same person he was before he went in.
My mom still treats me like a mom, and she tells me to brush my teeth as she's leaving the visiting, and tells me to go to bed early or whatever, just the typical stuff, but I don't know, I think they're just worried about me.
Just a really good kid.
Tori's a good kid, and Tori's just a kind person, and we're still a family. He's still every bit as much a part of our family as before.
I remember the first article I read about my case. Geez, I mean, they made me sound like this brutal, cold, psychopathic killer.
They were talking about Brian. They were making you just like Brian.
They put us like as the same person.
They lumped them together.
I only hung out with him for 6 weeks before this happened. I think it's crazy how the last week of me being on the street, being free, really has affected the rest of my life. If you were to watch that video and nothing had happened, it would literally be a joke.
September 22nd to 26th, we're skipping last 4th hour. We're writing our plan right now. I'm telling Cassie's family, but she had number 1. We have to stick with the plan. She's perfect, so she's gonna die.
I don't know if it was probably my fault and I should have seen it, but he did not seem capable of something like this, and it completely caught me off guard. I was just I don't know, I just couldn't believe it.
There should be no law against killing people. I know it's a wrong thing, but hell, you restrict somebody from it, they're gonna want it more.
We found our victim, and sad as it may be, she's our friend. But you know what? We all have to make sacrifices. Our first victim is going to be Cassie Stoddard. She's going to be alone in a big, dark house out in the middle of nowhere. How perfect can you get? I mean, like, holy shit, dude.
I'm horny just thinking about it.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if either of us would have done it if we were alone, We fed off each other, I guess, and it was a formula for disaster in the end, you know.
The time is 9:50, September 22nd, 2006. We know there's lots of doors. There's lots of places to hide. I unlocked the back doors. It's all locked. Now we just gotta wait.
I was actually the individual who snuck downstairs and unlocked the basement door. And it's that one choice where I was just kind of going along with it. I really didn't stop and say, why am I doing this? I just did it. And that one thing that I did, started this whole thing. And that's something that is hard to deal with, because all I had to do was just not do that. And this may have never happened. Cassie's there alone, and we both had masks on. He walks up and he tells me, you do something scary, it's gonna freak her out. And I'm like, okay. And so I grab a door and I open it and I slam it. And then we just kind of go into the room and the crime happens. And we stab her. I really don't have a lot of vivid memories of the actual incident. I have what they call a flashbulb images of that. She's breathing hard and her eyes are open and she's looking off someplace else. And then I remember Sony, like, she wasn't screaming, but in my head I can hear that. And I know she screamed before it happened to her. And but in my memories I have, she's screaming.
I just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a fucking joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. Oh, fuck. That felt like it wasn't even real. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the fuck up. We gotta get our act straight.
Okay.
When it did happen, I was just too shocked to do anything, and I just ran from it and hid from it, and I made a lot of mistakes, but they were, I don't know, I just think I look at myself now and I'm 21 and I think how stupid I was at 16, and I just think how I feel like I'm paying for somebody else's mistakes at this point.
Brian didn't want us to know how much pain he was in. And he kept that very, very separate from our life with him and the family's life with him. He just didn't want us to know how much pain he was in.
That's the thing that kept us up at night the most for the longest amount of time, is trying to remember something that we missed. We adopted Brian at birth. When I think about our relationship and how strong of a relationship we had with Brian and how good of a relationship we had with Brian. If you walked into our house back then, we were normal. And why we didn't recognize that we had such a problem is horrific and something we still cannot bear.
Hello? Hello. This call is subject to monitoring and recording.
I just wish you would have talked to me about this before, because if you had told me anything,
I told you that I wanted counseling again.
Tell me what, honey?
I told you that I wanted counseling.
You did?
Yeah. Don't you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
I just had an emotional visit yesterday. I mean, it was really hard to come here alone. It's always hard to go to a prison. And it's hard to walk down the gates and to be buzzed in and to wait and to go through the searches. And then just to imagine doing this forever until I'm dead. Everybody involved is dead except for Tori and Brian. They will outlive, you know, the prosecutors and the families and everybody, and it'll still be going on. It's just very overwhelming all the time that there's never an end in sight, or it's hard to imagine how we're going to spend our life doing this, and I'm just overwhelmed today and a little bit. It's just hard.
He was very easily influenced by his friends. Tori's much more of a follower than a leader.
Yeah, who I was at that point and who I am now, it's like totally different people.
But who Tori was at that age, at 16, he still didn't commit this crime.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not saying that. He's not saying that.
I'm saying I made some mistakes and I learned from them.
But your mistakes weren't anything that you were charged with. They weren't the murder and the conspiracy.
Yeah.
That was Brian. It must be harder because you're innocent to be facing it.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not unusual that he would, have that response in his your parents. You having that response. I mean, it's a lot to deal with. I mean, you have to accept the societal brand that you are a convicted murderer, and that is a very scary term to have affixed to your name. And so it's really hard. He wants to please his parents. He wants to go home, and his kind of behavior it's really common and it's ordinary. I think what makes somebody extraordinary is when they face everything and just kind of accept it. It's a hard thing to admit, you know. I killed Cassie Stoddard. I stabbed a 16-year-old girl to death. That's pretty hard to say. When I first got here, I tried to blame others. And I met this individual in here, and he asked me what happened to my crime, and I told him, oh, I'm not exactly sure what happened. They said I killed her. I'm not even sure if I did or not. And he sat me down, and he's like, stop giving me a whole bunch of bullshit, okay? If you want my help, you have to completely be honest with me. And he taught me about how I owe a tremendous debt to Cassie Stoddard, and the only way that I can even start you paying that is to, first of all, tell exactly what happened to her, and do not dishonor her in anything that you do in your life. And I've tried that. It's very hard. It's very hard. But I think that it's all I can do, and I have the obligation. I have to do that, or I'm a monster, I guess. I want to have a chance at life. I understand that, Cassie can't, and I never ignore that. She's dead, and not anything is going to change that. I did something terrible, and there has to be consequences for that. Everything we do in life, there's always consequences.
I don't know. I have a lot of ambitions, and I mean, if I were to get out, I know exactly what I would do with my life. But being in here, that's all I have is just these. It feels like all I have is just to sit here and rot, and there's no redeeming qualities. There's nothing I can do really to alleviate any. I don't know, it's like just watching yourself decompose. It's just horrible.
He's been in prison 6 years, and he's still on his first day. He hasn't progressed at all. And in the end, it's going to hurt him in the end. Either psychologically, if he has a conscience, or in courts, they don't want to hear that you're completely innocent. He's not innocent. He's not. I'm not innocent. I'm guilty, and he's guilty, and that's where we all should start at. After the crime had happened, I had horrific dreams, bad dreams, where she was there, and just graphic, gruesome dreams about her dying. I would wake up in the night, and I would be scared, like terrified. Now I have dreams of her at school, and everything's, good. She's always smiling, but I always know in the dream that I killed her, and those dreams are are even worse. And that's like, the only thing I can do is hurt myself. It takes away the pain of just knowing what I did.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, Dad.
How you doing?
Oh my God, here, Dad. You don't understand.
I know, Brian. I don't understand. Trust me. But it breaks my heart. I'd do anything for you. I'd change places with you in a minute.
No.
Everybody believes you. I love you, Brian, more than anything else.
I love you, Dad.
You've had hundreds of calls today, son, with people telling us no matter what they hear, they know better. They know better because you're not that kid.
I knew that the truth was terrible, and I was really scared of you coming clean. Years after this happened, we were visiting, and I was like, no, I am not innocent, Mom. I had a part in this. I knew it was going to happen, and I went along with it. And she was devastated, of course. I mean, she had to accept that her son had a part in this horrible crime. I have personally seen my dad cry 2 times, and the first time was when I won a scholarship for a science project I did, and the other time was when he was on the stand in court, and he was crying because I hurt him so much. You parents, they love you so much, and that you showed them this by destroying them. I got special parents. I just wish I could go back in time.